If you're looking to build, protect, and grow generational wealth, this video is for you. My name is Sam Limo. I'm a Texas real estate agent and a licensed financial professional. And with me on this call is attorney and financial professional Robert Minor. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much. My name is Robert Miano. I'm an attorney and a licensed financial professional. We're going to be sharing very important information on how can you build, protect, and transfer generational wealth. Sam Limo will get us started, and then I'll come at some point. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Miano. All right, so we're going to get started. Right, as I mentioned, I'm a certified pro-page realtor here in Texas and also a licensed financial professional. So I'm gonna introduce what our mission is. Our mission is to empower growing families, build generational wealth through real estate and financial services. So let's get started by talking about the reality of work. And I did a little bit of investigation about how is work in America. And I find out an average American works 40 to 50 years at an average of 40 hours a week, which equates to 80,000 to 100,000 hours in their lifetime. But the most disappointing thing is they only spend less than 2 hours learning about how to maximize on those earnings that they've had. And we're here to change that. Our goal is to change that. We're going to provide a platform whereby we give you an opportunity to learn about financial services every Tuesday at 8 p.m. And our focus is building, protecting, and growing generational wealth through real estate and financial services. These sessions will include you asking questions and just us introducing some of the regular stuff that you know. And it's going to start with just the number one thing, your budget. They say it's not how much you make, but how much you save. And how do you know how much you save? You start by capturing your gross income, your net income, your expenses, and then you're going to come up with your net savings. And what do you do with those savings? A lot of popular savings avenues that people use are their 401k, their IRA, Roth IRA. Let's talk about 401k. It's the most popular that everybody knows about. This is provided by your employer. Why a lot of people pursue this is because a lot of employers match the contributions. And also the most word that being told is this savings is a tax-deferred growth. We'll talk about that. There's an advantage there and there is a disadvantage there. Let's talk about IRA. This is provided through tax deductions, contributions by yourself. You should have your personal account. Roth IRA, we will discuss these in details in our next slide. So these are the popular ones that you know. Also, another one that is known to so many Americans, even at this moment right now, everybody's talking about Social Security. How do you qualify? What age does your dependents qualify about it? This is set up by the government because I was listening to one of Nelson Mandela's speeches, and Nelson Mandela said, you will have 1,000 problems and then you will have one problem. That is when your health declines. So that is what Social Security is here about, because everybody knows you can have 1,000 problems. Then you have one problem. When your health declines, then every other problem becomes very minimal. So that is Social Security, and we will discuss that in our classes in terms of qualifications and what are the criteria of getting it. All right, let's discuss financial portfolios. Every family here thinks about how do I set up myself to grow the money that I have to plan for my retirement. And most of the financial portfolios that exist out there is the CDs, understanding fixed rates. Your money grows in your savings account or you put it on a CD, you have a limited of a fixed rate. Another one is the variable accounts. We say, man, we want to get involved in the stock market. Guess what happens? We go to bed, our money is up here, we wake up, the money is down. The next day, we work the political climate and all that stuff. It's happening to us right now. They're called variable accounts. So stock market I already talked about, but the most least talked about is an index account. What do you know about index account? We're going to be introducing a concept of compound interest. And this is why they say compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. What do you know about it? They say if you understand it, you earn it. If you do not understand it, you pay for it. Are you paying or are you earning? We're going to change that conversation. So let's talk about simple interest and compound interest. Let's look at year one. If you target $100,000 at 10% interest, look at what you earn on year one. 110, 110. Year two, 120, 121. Look at year 10. 200 is what you will have. 259. So you're looking about $59,000. Year 20, 300. And then the big difference come up. 672. I was talking to one of my friends as he said, Sam, make sure when you do this presentation, emphasize on time. How much time do you have? Do you want to take advantage of $672,000? You need to get started right now. A lot of us are in our 40s. Some of you listening to this are in your 30s. Take advantage of time because time will allow you to maximize on the power of compound interest. So those are the charts that's there for you to understand, which brings us to life insurance. A lot of people talk about, hey, don't scare me with life insurance. You know, I don't want to think about my death right now, but I'm going to tell you this. There's more to it with life insurance. There are two types of life insurance. There's term life insurance and there's permanent life insurance. Term life insurance is just like renting a home. You pay for your rent, they allow you to live there. But guess what? You're not getting anything. When your lease is up, you don't get anything out of that house. Same thing with term. You pay for 10 years, you're protected unless you die. All the premiums that you paid just goes away. But let me introduce you to permanent life insurance. It's like buying a house. As a realtor, we understand that if you buy a house, you pay your mortgage, not only do you get to own the house because you pay down your mortgage, but also your house will appraise. You will get some equity. The market will allow your house to gain equity. That's the same thing with permanent life insurance. Permanent life insurance not only protects you based on the amount that you put out there, but there's something called a cash value. At the same time, there's something called living benefits. And we'll get into that in our next slide. So let's talk about the role of life insurance. Life insurance is not only a protection. When structured correctly, it is an asset. Somebody else said, becoming your own bank. What do you know about banks? Compound interest. That's why we introduced compound interest. So becoming your own bank, not only do you get take advantage of compound interest, and also we will show you how you can get those earnings tax-free. I'm a probate realtor, and they tell you your taxes is deferred, but there's something called probate. Whether you're dead or alive, you're going to pay for those taxes. So as a probate realtor, I go to court, and guess what they do? Not only do you pay your creditors, but also Uncle Sam is asking for his portion, and it's very expensive. So the role of life insurance is we're going to help you to use life insurance to avoid the probate process, because earnings from life insurance does not go through probate. And we have attorney Robert Miner here that he's going to explain more to that, which brings me to introducing IUL. Today, I want to announce that if you don't know what IUL is, ask your friend and tell your friend, because this is the conversation we want out there. This is the wave of conversation that we want the community, or whoever you're watching this video today, I want you to understand what IUL is, which is Index Universal Life Insurance. And it's a type of permanent life insurance that provides both death benefits, cash value, growth linked to a stock market and max index. For the sake of time, Mr. Miner will be explaining it shortly. And here I come. I'm introducing Attorney Robert Miner to explain about IUL. Welcome, my brother.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sam. Very wonderful presentation. So we are talking about building, protecting, and transferring wealth. You can have what you call a financial pocket knife that brings all those elements at the same time. And these say numbers don't lie. So what I want to do, I want to give a very practical illustration of how you can be able to build, protect, and transfer wealth just using one account, using one account, and that is that Index Universal Life account. And so this is an account where somebody takes an account whose face amount is $250,000. That's what you call the death benefit. And they decide for their kid that they are going to be putting a certain amount every year. So in this example, let's say they put $8,000 every year. And what this represents is how much have they put over the years. This is their asset value. This is how much can they take out. And this represents the death benefit. The first thing I want you to see is that when you put money in this account, you are able to take it out. So what do I mean by that? So even in the first year, this person puts $8,000, they can take out in the first year, they are able to still take out $3,885 from this account. They're able to take money out. They are able to take money out from this account. Another thing I want you to know is that if you're doing this for your kids, the law allows you to even employ your kids and pay them compensation. And so long as you're paying an amount less than what the law calls the standard deduction, you don't have to pay any taxes. Because the kid, let's say you're paying them $8,449, the kids will have income, but the standard deduction is going to be offsetting that income. So they're going to be paying zero in terms of taxes. Now, Sam Limo explained something about the power of compound interest. Let's say this person puts money in this account for just 7 years. By that time, they have put $59,000. At that point, they can take out $63,000. If they say that they're not going to withdraw money out from this account, they just leave money in this account, it's going to grow. It's going to grow by the power of this compound interest. By the time this person is turning 46 years old, they only put $59,000. They're not putting anything anymore. They just put $59,000. Now they can take out $500,000. That is the power of compound interest that Limo mentioned. Now, this person does not take out anything. They don't take out anything. By the time this person is turning 57, now they have $1 million. They have $1 million in this account. Now, what you need to know is that you are able to take out money from this account. So you're growing the money that is building, but you are able to take it out. Now, let me talk about protection before I talk about taking it out. Protection means your money is protected from market downturns. So right now, sometimes the markets could be doing well. Sometimes the markets could be going negative. If the markets are not doing well, this money is always protected from market downturns. It's also protected from lawsuits and bankruptcy. And lawsuits. Somebody sues you, they can't be able to attach this money in this cash surrender value because the law says the money is protected from attachment, lawsuits, and bankruptcy. Protection is huge. Now, let me talk about transfer. Transfer means, what if you don't take this money out? Where does it go? The money is capitalized into the death benefits, and the money will pass over to your generations without going through a process called the probate process. And so in one account, you are able to build, you are able to protect, and at the same time, you are able to transfer the money to your next generation without going through this probate process. Now, let's say this person gets to age 62 and says, I want to retire. This money has been growing. Remember this. This person contributed, maybe they contributed for their kid only for 7 years, $59,000. By the time we are getting to age 62, we have $1.3 million. Now they decide they want to take the money out. They can be able to take the money out tax-free. How does that work? Now, I need to look at this. They put $59,000, $59,143. When they get out the 59,143, it's called return of basis or return of premium. So they don't have to pay any taxes on how much they are getting out. And then you'll see this switches to a loan. Why does it switch to a loan? Because anytime you take a loan, you don't pay taxes on loan. And so what you see is happening is that this is the loan account. It's like the loan account growing. The loan account grows, the loan account grows, the loan account grows. They are taking the money out as a loan, but it's a loan that does not have to be paid back. It's a loan that doesn't have to be paid back. And if it's not paid back, it's always secured. It's always secured by the death benefit. Secured by the death benefit. And so you can see clearly that this person can turn taking the money out. They can continue taking the money out even until age 100. Until age 100. And so this is the way. This is the way to build, protect, and transfer wealth, all encompassed in one account. All encompassed in one account. Thank you so much for listening to this, and we'll continue sharing more. Pass it over to yeah.
Wow, Attorney Miano. So, guys, when I talk about Team Kipsimo 6.0, there's significance about that. We have seen $1 million building. We have a formula for you. We want you to subscribe to our channel. We want you to follow us on all our social media platforms. On top of that, we invite you to our Tuesday classes. We'll be sharing the link, our Assembly meetings, because we want to change the conversation. Remember, IUL, know what IUL is, because we're going to share more how index accounts works, that it has a cap, top cap, and a down cap, which is how we explain, because a lot of people say, this is too good to be true. But we're going to show you how this is reflected on an S&P 500, but not your money is not in it. So we're going to be explaining that, and we invite you to have this conversation going, understand what IUL is. And with that said, this becomes the end of our conversation this week, and look forward to our next video. Thank you.
Thank you so much.